The way that we fill in the blank is to say that Jesus would say, I have come into the world as a judge.
我们可能会填这个空说，耶稣来到世上是审
Right?
判
I have
官。
come into the world as a judge. I came down here. It's kind of like your parents, right? When they hear you making noise in your room, they come in here and say, What's going on in here?
耶稣就像我们的父母一样，他们在楼上听见我们在楼下有声玩闹的时候，他们会说：“不要让
Don't
我，
make me come down there.
不要让我下楼找你
Right?
们。
That's what parents say. They say things like that. Don't make me come down there. So Jesus could. ”
父母一般会这样说。我们以为耶稣也是这样子的，他是一个审判官。
Right? So the way that a lot of us would fill in the blank is to say, I have come into the world as a judge to see. Some of you are trying really hard not to sin, but others of you, I've got bad news. This is how we would think Jesus would
所以
say.
我们以为耶稣他来到世上是审判官，所以我们很努力的不要犯罪。
So
可是有的
other
人
people
呢，
might
就
say
犯
that
了很
Jesus
多
could
的。
say, I have come into the world as a coach or a helper.
耶稣并没有说我来到世上是教练或者是一个帮助者。
Right? We look at Jesus as primarily as an example. We say, well, I'm supposed to imitate and do what Jesus did.
我们把耶稣当作我们的榜样，我们都想要效法他的行为。
The way that a lot of us pray, most of our prayers are asking for Jesus to help with this or that. Jesus, please, I need more patience. Please help me to be a more patient person.
所以，当我们祷告的时候，我们会说：“主啊，求你帮助我做这个，帮助我做那个，使我
And so that's the way that
有
we
耐
think.
心。
Is it's almost like Jesus is saying, okay, I'm going to come down there because you asked. I'm going to give you a little help. Here's a little patience. Throw a little patience your way.
所以我们以为耶稣会来帮助我们，给我们多一点耐心，拿走我们的不耐心。
But that's not how Jesus fills in that sentence at all.
可是这并不是耶稣的填空题，并不是的。
In fact, Jesus even says in the scripture, if you read John 12, he said, I didn't come as a judge.
在约翰福音12章，耶稣并没有说我来到世上是做审判官的。
He says there's someone else that takes care of that job.
那个事情自然有别的人去做，
So instead, Jesus gives us this news.
但是耶稣告诉我们这样的一个消息：
I have come into the world as a light.
我到世上来是做光的。
Now, when we hear that, we say, well, yeah, that makes sense because he wants to expose our deeds of darkness.
我们觉得是啊，耶稣来做光是要显明我们在黑暗中的不好的行为。
Right? So that's how we hear Jesus say it. I'm coming in, I'm going to flip on the light. I'm going to catch you doing what you're doing that is
我
wrong.
们会以为耶稣是光，就证实我们所做的错误的事情。
And then when the light flips on, then we'll all run away like cockroaches, right? Because we just...
所以当光来的时候，很多的小的虫子都跑
But
掉了，
Jesus
像
does not finish the
跳蚤一
sentence
样。
by saying, I have come into the world as a light so that I can expose your dark
可
deeds.
是耶稣并没有说他来到世上做光是为了显明我们在黑暗中的行为，
Instead, he gives us good news.
而是给我们一个好的消息。
What does he say?
是什么呢？
He says, I have come into the world as a light. Why?
我来到世上为什么做光呢？
Why? What's the rest of the verse?
接下来是什么呢？
He came into the world as a light for those who believe in
他
him.
来世上做光，使那些信他的人。
And for those who believe in him, the scripture tells us in Romans that there is no condemnation
就像
for those who believe in
罗马
Christ
书所说的
Jesus.
那样，信基督的人就不被定罪了。
So you see, Jesus didn't come into the world for believers to condemn us.
所以耶稣并不是来到世上要定我们的罪的，
He came into the world because it is a very dark place.
他到世上来，因为世界是黑暗的。
Now, one of the really interesting things about us as fallen human beings,
我们
as sinful human
作为
beings,
堕落的人，有一个非常有意思的事情。
is that we are so lost in sin that we don't even realize that sin is a bad thing. We tend to like sin.
我们因为太堕落、太败坏了，我们甚至不知道罪是不好的，我们甚至会喜欢犯罪。
And so our hope is to sin as long as we can without getting in trouble for it.
我们就是会尽可能的去犯罪，除非我们惹到麻烦。
So that was why the great early church father, Augustine,
这就是为什么中古世纪的伟大的教父奥古斯丁，
he had a real problem with women, you know. I mean,
他
he
有一
liked
个跟
women
女
too
性
much.
的问题。
So he said, Lord, make me chaste, make me
他
holy
说：“
towards
主啊，
women.
使我圣洁。
He said, make me holy, chaste towards women.
让我在
Holy,
对待
give
女
me
人的
right
方面上
attitude
面
towards
更
right
圣洁吧。”
behavior towards women.
Augustine 是这样子的人，
But he ended the sentence by saying, just not yet.
然后他又说：“先等一等吧。”
And so that's the way that we think about sin. We think about sin as something enjoyable.
这就是我们对罪的认识。我们觉得罪是一个很享受的动机，
It's pleasant.
是让人喜悦
We
的。
hope to do it as long as possible without getting
我
into
们
too
会
much
尽可
trouble.
能的去做，如果不会
And
惹麻烦的
this
话。
is the problem that God sees.
可是问题是，神可以看见这些事情的。
You see, sin may feel pleasurable to us, but it actually destroys
我们
us.
会觉得罪是很享受的，可是它会摧毁我们。
It feels pleasurable for about a moment,
它只是短暂的享受而已，
but it leads to slavery.
可是会使我们成为奴仆。
It takes away our humanity,
它会拿走我们的人性，
but we don't even
可
notice.
是我们甚至不会发现这些事情。
So human beings are in deep bondage to
所以
slavery.
我们人是在罪的捆绑之中的，很深的捆绑。
We're so much in bondage to slavery that we don't know it,
我们被罪恶捆绑，然后我们自己却不知道，
and we don't want it to end.
我们甚至不想要结束、摆脱。
And that is why Jesus comes.
所以耶稣他来了，
Jesus is the light
耶稣是光，
that whenever Jesus is present, we finally can see ourselves and sin for what it really is.
当有耶稣同在的时候，我们就可以看清楚我们身上的罪是什么样子的。
Interestingly, a lot of times in the Bible, when you see Jesus, he just shows up and people start confessing their sin.
在圣经中有很有意思的是，每一次当耶稣出现的时候呢，就会有人去认罪悔改。
Can you remember when Jesus did the miracle about the fish? When the disciples caught the
还记
fish?
得耶稣教门徒打鱼的故事吗？
And how does Peter
彼
respond?
得是怎么说的呢？
What does he say? Does he say, wow,
他
look
说
at：“ all these
哇哦，
fish?
很多鱼吗？”他是不是这样说的呢？
No, what does he
那
say?
彼得他说了什么呢？
He says, yeah, he says, please
他
leave.
说：“主啊，离开我吧。”
So you see, even though Jesus had done this great miracle for Peter, it was hard for Peter to be in Jesus' presence because just when Jesus is present, we finally sense our sin.
即使耶稣为彼得做了很好的事情，可是彼得仍然不愿意来有耶稣的同在，因为耶稣的同在会显明我们的败坏。
And so most of the time, we're not aware of the things that hold us into bondage or
所以
slavery.
很多的时候，我们并不知道那些捆绑我们成为奴仆的事情，我们并不清楚。
But Jesus' goodness is so powerful that when he shows up, he doesn't have to sit down and lecture us about sin.
可是耶稣很奇妙，他不用跟我们讲道理， 就让我们知道我们的罪，
Just being in his
只
presence
是他的同在就可以让我们知道我们的罪，
그렇게 죄를 자백하게 하는 거예요.
is what causes us to finally realize that we are in bondage.
使我们知道我们原来是在捆绑之中。
사로잡힌 자, 죄에 사로잡힌 자를 우리가 알게 되는 거예요. 자연스럽게.
But he doesn't come simply to show us that we're in
但是
bondage.
他并不只是来显明我们在捆绑之中的，
죄에 대해서 구속된 그런 사람이 된 것을 우리가 모르는데요.
Right? He doesn't just show up and say, you are really in darkness. You
他并
need to
不
get
是
out of
说
darkness.
你真的是在黑暗中啊。
거기서 나오라고 이렇게 하실 필요가 없어요.
He himself is the light.
耶稣他是光，
신이 빛이기 때문에 그렇게
光明。
얘기를 할 필요가 없는 거예요.
And when he comes, the darkness flees.
他来的时候黑暗就逃跑了，
그냥 어둠은 그냥 도망가게 되어 있어요.
And we are set free
我们也就自由了。
그 자유를 얻게 돼요.
by his
是
presence.
借着他的同在，我们得自由。
우리가 자유에서 해방하는 거예요.
Remember, last week we said that freedom, the way that Jesus defines it, is to say that there is nothing that can stop him from coming to us.
记得上周我们说，
Freedom is that nothing can stop Jesus
耶
from
稣
coming
定义
to
自
us.
由是没有什么可以拦阻他来到我们这里，
한 것도 예수님께 이렇게
这就是自由。
다가가는 것을 중단시키지 못하는 거예요. 자유함이라는 거.
So you see, there's no way for us to go to
我
him.
们没有办法去到耶稣的那里，
주님께 갈 수 있는 그 능력은 없어요.
So any kind of religion that tries to help you to improve is not the gospel, because there's no way for us to improve to reach up to his
所以
presence.
凡是让你提升自己的宗教都是
하는 것을
不对的，因为我们没有办法提升自
So
己
the
到
good
耶
news is
稣
he
的面
comes
前。
to us.
好消息就是他要来找我们，
이게 오세요.
And when he comes to
当
us,
他来找我们的时候呢，
he comes not to condemn
他并不
us,
是来定我们的罪，
but to set us
而是使
free.
我们得自由了。
You know, in the Bible, it tells us in the book of Revelation that when the new heavens and the new earth
在
come,
圣经的启示录说，新天新地来的时候呢，
이렇게 오면 내려오면
there will be no more
就
darkness,
不再有黑暗了，
없을 것이라고 그랬어요.
no more
不
night.
再有
더 이상
黑夜了。
없을 거라고.
And the reason why is because Jesus will always be present to
为什么
us.
呢？因为耶稣永远与我们同在，
항상 우리와 함께 임재하실 거기 때문에 그런 거예요.
And so with his
所以
presence
在耶稣的同在之中呢，
comes freedom.
就会有自由。
그렇게 된다는 것을 의미합니다.
The only way for us to be
这
free
是我们唯一得自由的方法，
그렇게 할 수 있는 오로지 그 유일한 방법은
is for Jesus to be present to us and to set us
就是耶
free.
稣的同在来到我们这里，使我们得自由。
때 가능합니다.
And this is what he wants to do.
这也是耶稣要做的事情。
원하세요.
We don't need to beg him to
我
do
们不
this.
需要求他去这样子做，
필요가 없어요.
We don't need to try to show him we really
我们
want
不需
it.
要很来强求他去这样子做。
그뭐 이렇게 구걸할 필요가 없어요.
He doesn't say, well, I'll set you free from sin if you're really sincere
耶
about
稣
it.
并没有说，如果你真心诚意的话，我会使你得自由的。
뭘 원하면 내가 너희를 자유케 하고 그다음에 빛을 주겠다 뭐 이렇게 한 게 아니에요.
He doesn't say, last time I set you free from sin, you didn't stay free, you went into bondage again. So why should I set you free this
耶
time?
稣也没有说，上次我让你得自由，可是你又失去了自由，这一次我不再会给你自由了。
His presence is freedom.
耶稣的同在就是自由，
자체가 자유함입니다.
And so he calls us to trust that.
所以他让我们去相信这一个真理。
그것을 신뢰하라는 거예요.
So Satan puts ideas in our
可
mind
是撒旦会给我们很多的想法，
마음속에 생각을 집어넣어요.
that make us afraid to come into Jesus' presence.
使我们恐惧来到耶稣的同在之中。
못하도록 그렇게 합니다.
Satan always says things to us like, you know he's going to judge you, right?
耶稣说撒旦会说耶稣会审判你的，对不对？
심판할 거야.
你要知道，
You know he's going to take away all the things you
他
enjoy,
会拿
right?
走你喜欢的东西，对不对？
할 거야. 예수님이 오면 이렇게 얘기해.
And so we avoid Jesus' presence.
所以我们会躲开神的耶稣的同在。
우리가 자꾸 피해요.
And that's why Jesus said we prefer darkness to the light.
所以耶稣说，我们是喜欢黑暗，不喜欢光明的。
더 좋아한다고 말씀하신 거예요.
So sin, the essence of sin,
那么
죄의
罪呢？
그 본질은 뭐냐면
isn't just things you do wrong.
罪不只是你所做的错的事情，
하는 게 아니에요.
The essence of sin
죄의
那么罪的
본질은
is that we want to be separated from God.
本质就是我们想要脱离神的同在，
살라고 하는 거예요.
We don't trust
我们
Him.
不相信神，
하나님을
上帝。
신뢰하지 않아요.
We always think He's going to do something bad to us,
我们
judge us, condemn us, punish
总是
us.
怀疑他会惩罚我们、审判我们，
나쁘게 한다라고 생각해요. 정죄하고 막 심판하고
对我们做不好的事情。
생각해요.
But that is not why Jesus
可是这
comes.
并不是耶稣来到世上的目的。
것이 아닙니다.
Jesus comes to
耶
you
稣来到你的这里，
오셔서
because you belong to Him.
只是因为你属于他的。
하면 여러분들이 예수님께 속해 있기 때문에 오신 거예요.
He comes to you because He knows that if He's just present to you, you will be set
他来
free.
找你，因为他知道，如果你有他的同在，你就会自由了。
Now, one of my favorite stories that I like to tell that helps us to understand and remember this
我
truth
有一个很好的故事来帮助你们记住这样的真理。
좋아하는
我特别喜欢这个
is
故
the story about the
事。
young boy who was out playing in the mud puddles in the
这是
rain.
一个小男孩在下雨天的时候会出去玩水坑，
노는 상황인데요.
The boy is jumping around the mud puddles, having a great time.
他就会在
Woo!
水坑外面跳来跳去。
하면서 놀고 있어요.
And his dad comes outside. He says, "Hey, son, time to come
爸爸
in."
说：“哦，儿子，你要回到屋子里面。
막 그랬어요.
And the boy says, "I don't want to come in ”
儿子说：“我不想进去，我不想回家，
그러는 거예요.
because I know what you're going to do. You're going to make me take a bath.
因为你会让我洗澡，我知道你会让我去洗澡的。
목욕하라고 그럴 거죠?
And the father says, "That's right."
爸爸说：“是的，
아빠가 그랬어요. 맞다고.
And the boy says, "I'm going to stay out here because I don't want to come
我
inside
不
and
想
take a
回
bath."
家洗澡，我要在外面玩。”
난 여기 있을 거예요. 더 좋은 일뭐 이렇게 재밌게 놀 거예요. 막 이러는 거예요.
But the father takes him by the hand and leads him inside,
然后爸爸把这个男孩子拿到家里面，
puts him in the bathtub and washes
把
him
他
up.
放在水缸里面洗干净，
Whole time the boy is crying.
这个小孩子就开始哭闹：“我要去外面玩呢，我要去外面玩。”
And then after he's done taking the bath, he puts him in some nice
洗
clothes.
完澡之后换上干净的衣服，
And he puts him in the
把
car.
他放在车子里面，
차에 태우고
And they start going for a drive.
然后他们开车出去了。
떠났어요.
And the boy goes, "I hate this. I hate driving. I hate the long
男孩
drive."
子说：“我不喜欢坐车，我不喜欢开坐很远的车。
나 이거 신단 말이에요. 이러는 거예요.
But soon
可是很快呢，
근데 곧
the car comes to a stop.
然后车子就停住了。
And the father gets the son out of the
爸
car.
爸把这个孩子拿到车的外面，
차에서 내리게 했어요.
And he says, "Here, son, this is the beach.
然后爸爸说：“这就是海滩，
이게 해변가야.
Let's go play."
你尽情的玩耍吧。
You see, the son doesn't trust the father. ”
儿子不相信爸爸，
아빠를 신뢰하지 못했어요.
He thinks all the father wants to do is punish him and make life difficult
他
for
以
him.
为爸爸所做的一切就是让他的生命很难，给他麻烦的生活不好过。
But you see, the father knows the things that he has placed inside of us that make us
可是，
joyful, that are good
这
for
个
us.
父亲有很好的计划，有让我们开心的计划。
기뻐할 것이 뭔 줄 알았어요.
And he's the only one who knows how to get us from where we are to where those things really need to be.
他知道要把我们从什么地方带到什么地方去。
좋은지 그리고 어디를 가야지 우리가 더 좋은 건지 아세요.
Now, I don't know if any of you have seen the video about the people waiting at the bus stop. Have you? We were talking about this the other
我
day.
不知道你们有没有看过有人在停车站等车的那
A
个，
bunch of people there waiting for the
他们
bus.
在等车，
버스 기다리고
And as always happens, you know,
可是经常会发生这样的
guy
事
comes
情
up,，
就会有人吐口水在地上，
푸는 거예요. 하고
或者是弄鼻涕甩鼻涕在地上，
and spits into the puddle there at the bus
就
stop.
会在汽车
정류장에
站就会这样子做。
탕물 있는 옆에다가 이렇게 그런
And what happens
然
then?
后呢，
날 무슨 일이 일어나는 줄 알아요?
As the bus pulls up, the bus splashes all the water on
巴士开
everybody.
过来，然后把带有口水的水溅到在所有的人身上，
다 사람들에게 다 튕긴 거예요.
And so what was in the puddles is now on you.
然后那个口水都溅到你的身上了。
돌아오는 거예요.
That's why God takes us out of the puddles.
这是为什么神要把我们带走这个泥坑？
데려가서 다른 데 더 좋은 데 데려가는 거예요.
It's because he knows the joy that he's placed in us, and he's going to lead us to that place where we can be truly
因
happy.
为他知道对我们有好处，让我们开心的地方，他会把我们带到那个地方去。
때문에 그 상황에서 데리고 와서 더 우리가 기뻐할 수 있는 자리로 인도해 주시는 거예요.
And always, from the beginning of the Bible to the end, Satan's role is to try to get us to not trust that, to not trust that about
可
God's
是
character.
从开始到结束的圣经，撒旦总是会让我们怀疑神的属性，怀疑神的善良、
But
良
God
善
is。always trustworthy.
可是神总是信实的，
할 만한 분인 거예요. 항상.
He comes not to judge or to
他
punish.
来并不是审判或者惩罚我们，
라고 하시는 게 아니에요.
He doesn't force
他也
us.
不会强迫我们做事情。
And the time is coming, Jesus
耶
said,
稣说，
when he will no longer be able to work because it won't be light.
之后来到这个世界上就不会有光了。
이러면 우리가 일할 필요도 없다는 거예요.
But we don't need to be scared because in your hearing of my voice, this is the Lord speaking to you today.
可是你不要担心，因为主他正在对你说话，
것이
他今天在向你说话。
주시는 금성입니다.
And in my speaking in this gospel message is the Lord's own hand reaching out to you to pull you out of the mud
所
puddle.
以在我们今天的信息当中，是主在伸出他的手，把你从泥坑当中拉出来，
구해주려고 하는 그
拿出来。
Even the gift of faith, the gift of trusting Him, is something that He gives to
甚
us.
至我们的信心，我们相信他，也是他给我们的。
믿음조차도 예수님께서 우리에게 주시는 선물입니다.
It's not a test. He doesn't say, "Do you trust me or not?"
这并不是一个考试说，你相信我吗？
Because He knows we're slaves to sin. We can't trust
因为他
Him.
知道我们是罪的奴仆，我们没有办法去相信他。
노예이기 때문에 뭐 우리가 어떻게 할지 아세요?
But when He comes to
可是当
us,
他来找我们的时候，
우리에게 오셨을 때
His word, the gospel, sets us
他的
free.
话就是福音，使我们得自由了。
복음이 우리를 자유케 합니다.
In that word is the faith to trust Him.
这就是相信他的信心了。
믿어야 되는 거예요.
So, when we learned this scripture from John chapter
当我
12,
们学习约翰福音12章的经文的时候，
여기 보면요.
did you go back and read the rest of the chapter so you could see where Jesus was when He said
你
what He
们有
said?
没有读遍整章的圣经呢？然后看耶稣说什么？
That's good to do that. You should do
你
that.
应该读整章的经文。
So Jesus had just come from the house of
耶
Lazarus.
稣刚离开拉萨路的
그냥
屋子里面，
나사렛
屋家中出来。
오셨을 때예요.
And what had He just done at that house?
他在拉萨路的家做了什么呢？
He raised Lazarus from the
他使
dead.
拉萨路从死里复活了。
살아나게 하셨어요.
Have you ever wondered what happened to Lazarus after
你
that?
们有没有问过之后拉萨路发生了什么事情呢？
일어났는지 아세요?
The Bible doesn't tell anything much more about
圣
Lazarus.
经并没有讲到很多后面的事情，
살아난 그거 이후에는 지금 얘기하지 않고 있습니다.
But there are some legends or stories about Lazarus. They're kind of
还
interesting.
是有很多有意思的传说关于拉萨路的。
있어요. 있는데
One of those stories says that when Lazarus was resurrected from the dead, when he was raised from the dead, everyone gathered around him and said, "Please tell us what it's like on the other side. We're very interested to find out."
就是拉萨路从死里复活之后，有很多的人来找他说：“请你告诉我吧，你死后发生了什么事情
혹시 무슨 일이 있었느냐고 그 안에서
But every time he would open his mouth to try to tell what was on the other side, all he could do was？” laugh.
可是每次他想说的时候，他
Yeah, Lazarus just
唯一能
laughed.
够发出的声音就是笑声，
뭐하건 나사로가 계속 웃는 거예요.
Not like a mean laugh, not like a ha ha ha,
并不是很不好的笑，
것이 아니라
but just like a happy laugh when you
是
discover
很
something that's just so unbelievably
很
good.
开心的笑，就好像你发现很多你无法相信的美好的事情那样子。
되게 좋은 웃음 있잖아요.
And so, no matter how many times people asked him, and they kept saying to him, "Just please stop laughing, be serious, and tell us." And no matter how hard he tried, he just kept laughing.
所以每一次都会有人跟他说：“你不要再笑了，你告诉我们发生了什么事情吧。”可是每一次他总是会
막 얘기를 아무리
笑。
해도 그냥 웃는 거예요, 나사로가.
Well, people started to come from all over because this was such an amazing
这是一个
thing.
很奇妙的事情，所以人们从四面八方赶过来。
그래서 많은 사람들이 여러 군데에서 다 찾아왔어요.
And so, of course, the authorities got
当然
involved.
还有那些当官的也过来了，
And they took Lazarus' wife away from him and they put her into
他
prison.
们把拉萨路的妻子拿走，关在监狱里面。
감옥에 보냈어요.
But when they took his wife away and put her into prison, do you know what Lazarus did?
可是你知道拉萨路他做了什么事情吗？当他的妻子被抓住的时候，
He laughed.
他又笑了。
And in fact, the emperor, the Roman emperor himself, the story says, took Lazarus and burned him at the stake.
可是国王后来说，故事说国王要下令把拉萨路烧死。
And as they burned him, the last sound that anyone heard from Lazarus was,
可是拉萨路在死的之前说的最后一句话是什么呢？
아세요? 나사로가 웃은 거예요.
就
laughter.
是他笑又笑。
Why do you think Lazarus would laugh
为
so
什么
much?
拉萨路总是笑呢？
웃었던 것 같아요.
Even when they took his wife away.
他们甚至把他的妻子拿走，他还在笑。
Even when he was being
他被
burned.
烧死的时候还在笑。
What would cause him to laugh
是
like
什么
that?
原因让他如此开心的笑呢？
What do you think?
你
Do you think he'd just gone crazy? Maybe he's lost too much oxygen in his brain?
觉得他是不是大脑缺氧，或者是怎么样疯掉了呢？
가지고 뭐 미친 것 같으세요?
See, Lazarus had seen what was on the other side.
나사렛은
拉萨路在死亡后的看见的事情，
Past death and sin.
就是
과거나
摆脱了死亡跟罪恶，
Because on the other side, there is no death.
因为在另外一边是没有死亡的，
세상은 그런 게 없는
There is no
也
sin.
不再有罪了，
거예요.
And in fact, there's no one forcing you or being violent
也
against
没有人
you.
用暴力强迫你做事情了。
여러분들을 상대로 폭력을 행사하는 사람도 없어요.
There is only the light.
只有光明了，
Only light.
The light.
光明
그냥 빛만 있는 거예요. 빛.
Jesus Christ, the light of the
就是
world.
耶稣基督世界的光，
세상의 빛이십니다.
The good shepherd.
好牧人，
좋은 목자세요.
He is always there for
他
us.
总是与我们同在。
우리를 위해서 그곳에 계십니다.
But he doesn't just wait on the other side. He comes to us
他
here.
并不只是在那边等待我们，他而是来找我们。
아니라 우리를 찾아오셨어요.
And that's why if you've seen the Torture for Christ movie with Pastor Richard Wurmbrand, his life
那
story,
如果你们看过理查德·魏恩波的电影《为基督受苦》的话，
그리스도를 위한 고난을 보면
Pastor Wurmbrand actually has that same kind of attitude as Lazarus.
那魏恩波跟拉萨路有相同的
나사로와
态度。
반응을 하셨어요.
So do you remember when he's finally put into prison?
你还记得魏恩波被关在监狱中的
And the
时候
prison,
吗？
do you remember what the prison warden says to
你
him?
知道这个狱警对他说了什么呢？
He says, I can have you killed.
我可能会要
너를 죽게 할 수도 있어.
夺走你的生命
And。Pastor Wurmbrand smiles.
可是魏牧师却开心的笑了。
웃으셨어요.
He says, I know you can.
他说：“我知道你是可以的，
죽일 수 있다는 거 알아요.
But if you kill me, you'll only put me into the arms of the one I
可
love.
是死亡只会让我去到我所喜爱的那里去。
손에 내가 간다고 그렇게 얘기를 다 그래.
And this is the good news.
这是一个好的消
The
息。
God who loves you
神他是爱你的，
하나님, 여러분을 사랑하는 하나님이
is there to receive you
他来接受你的，
살아주세요.
in the place that is beyond death, beyond suffering.
到一个超越死亡、超越苦难的地方去，
그러한 곳에서
But not only that, he has come to you here.
并且他也来到你所在的地方
있는
来找你，
찾아오셨어요.
And through the word of his gospel,
就是听见他的福音。
복음의 그 말씀이
he comes to you in your hearing today
他在今天你听到的时候，来到你的跟前，
과 이 설교로 인해서
to say to you,
对你说。
이렇게 말씀하시는 겁니다.
nothing can separate you from
没有
me.
什么可以让我们分开的，
너희와 분리를 시키지 못할 거야.
No one condemns
没
you.
有人会定你的罪了，
않을 거야.
Your sins are
你的
forgiven.
罪被赦免了。
너의 죄는 다 용서받았어.
Now come out of the puddle.
와,
从水泥坑里面出来吧，
Come.
来吧。
And he reaches out
他伸出手来，
이렇게 뻗어서
and he takes us by the hand
把我们拿出来，
데려가세요.
and he leads us right here to this
把我们
table.
放在这个桌子的面前，他的晚餐的
And。he says, as often as you gather
说
together,
每次你们聚集的时候，
기회가 될 때마다
do
你
this
们如此行，
말씀하셨어요.
because it dispels the
因为
darkness
这样做就可以驱散光明，
정말
驱散黑暗。
올라가게 할 수 있거든요.
so that the light,
那么光明呢？
빛이라는 거는
that wonderful, warm, happy,
美好的、
joyful
喜乐
light
的、温暖的光明，
이렇게 따스한 뭐 이렇게 행복한 그런 것들이에요.
can shine in your
也会
heart
照亮你的心灵。
마음에 빛을 줄 그런 것들이에요.
wherever you are
不管
today.
你今天在哪里，
So come
请你来吧，
오십시오.
as he reaches out to you.
他欢迎你来吧。
여러분에게 손을 뻗치는 분 있는데요.
It is his word for
这是
you,
他对你的话，
말씀이
他对你说的话，
여러분들이 오면 됩니다.
not as the judge,
并不只是审判你的，并不是审判你的话，
것이 아니에요.
not as the
并不
coach,
只是来教导你的话，
뭐라고 하는 것도
not as the helper,
或者是帮助你的话，
없어도 아니에요.
but as the one who sends away all darkness simply by being here with you.
而是那对你说话的人、同在的人来到你的身边。